Last year we found out that Takara made a game about Transformers, but it was really lame.
In that game, we were forced to fight bosses that looked exactly the same. We had to die over 1,000 times, and we had to suffer several seizures. And what was all this for? Only to be given the message, congratulations.
This year, we're going to be doing pretty much the same damn thing in Transformers The Headmasters. But before you all watch the video, I have to warn you that this game is incredibly shit.
You see this picture here with the devil brewing an evil potion? There's only a few ingredients in the world that are evil enough to make such a concoction, and I for one am convinced that Transformers The Headmasters is one of them.
But you can't just imagine how shit this game is. You have to see it to believe it. So, as much as I really don't want to do this, I'm gonna have to play it.
At the start of this shit game, you have to play as Chromodome. Now, I find it quite interesting how none of the NES Transformers games let you play as Optimus Prime. I mean, that's like taking Mario out of his own game and making you play as Toadsworth through the whole adventure. Does anyone care about Toadsworth? I'll answer that, no! The first level of the game has you strictly driving forwards, but unlike in the original Transformers game, you can't transform at your own free will, which completely takes all the meaning out of the game's title. But as I said, you strictly have to drive forwards. And forwards. And forwards. Is this a joke? Is this seriously a joke? There's all these enemies, but all you have to do is drive forwards and none of them will ever hit you. But it's not as easy as it sounds. I think the game developers might have realised that they fucked up, so they decided to add these explosive bombs to the level. Now you have to wait until these bombs explode before you go over them, because if you go over a bomb that hasn't exploded yet, it will basically fuck you up. So how do you avoid these bombs? Well, I thought it would be pretty self-explanatory.
Let me demonstrate to you what I thought would happen. Okay, so here's a scenario in the game. Take the Wii Remote as a car and Wario as a bomb. Yeah, I'm rather cheap today. So, the car goes along, you stop beside the bomb, wait for it to explode, boom, and then you continue moving. But no, that's exactly what doesn't happen.
Here's a trivia question for you all. When you're controlling a Transformers character, how do you make them stop moving? Is it A, release whatever directional button you're holding? Or is it B, press a button which makes the character stop? Or is it C, release a directional button, wait 1,000,000 years, and then witness your character finally coming to a fucking halt? I think it's obviously C. Look at this! Okay, this is where I stopped moving. And look, the car keeps on going. It's ridiculous! How are you meant to avoid that bomb if you can't even fucking stop?
You know, eventually I found out that reversing seems to be the only hope of survival, so don't even try to take your finger off this directional button. It won't work. You have a greater chance of seeing the Virgin Mary than stopping by taking your finger off the directional button.
Then there's this boss here. I don't know who it is. I think it's Tripticon or something. But since I don't like him, I'm going to call him Bastard Tron. But why don't I like him? Well, like many other things in this game, he's well more impossible than he should be. For a start, they fucked up completely by putting the boss on a higher platform than your vehicle can reach. I mean, your vehicle can only fire in 2 directions, upright and straight across. So because of this tits-up mistake the game developers made, there's only one place where it's actually possible to hit the boss, and it's right there in the corner where you're guaranteed to be hit by these circular thingies. Sometimes the hits don't even register. You have to wait until the boss flashes red to know that you've actually hit him. It's fucking pathetic! You're forced into a tight, cramped space, and the boss still doesn't take any fucking hits.
You know, that boss is like one of those annoying twats in online games that use hacks. They just leave me thinking, what the fuck are you doing? And why the fuck are you doing it?
Afterwards, you finally transform into your robot form and the game starts to look a lot more like the original. Which I don't suppose is a good thing, is it? No. All you have to do in your robot form is kill all the enemies by either punching them or shooting the fuckers down. You can also fly around the screen and do the splits.
Is it just me, or did that sentence seem a little bit random? The splits.
What is this game? Transformers the Headmasters or Transformers Chromodome does the splits? Much like the original, it's very hard to tell what the fuck the enemies are supposed to be. This time round, they've added things that look like bowling balls, steering wheels, cassette tapes, pizzas, and this thing. In fact, if you change the colours of this, it looks like that game's Simon from the late 70s. And now that game is an anime in a video game. Wow. And then you have these circular balls with the letter D on them. And if you destroy these balls, a door opens to the next room. So I'm guessing the D stands for door. However, sometimes the door doesn't open, which is completely baffling. Look. Here I'm in that same room and I've destroyed all the balls, but the door isn't fucking opening. Now it turned out that I had to exit the room and go back in again before it would do anything. You know, that is just completely ridiculous, it doesn't make any sense, it's completely baffling, and I don't understand it. Fuck these stupid, pointless, annoying glitches. So that's it for part 1, and be sure to watch part 2 to see how this big pile of shit ends. But trust me, it does not end on a high note.